are back. I am Jared Cappel, and I'm here with the commentator for the entire event, Matt the Mechanic Canik. And we are going to start by previewing these two players. They were asked in a little questionnaire what their favorite tournament is, and Joey loves NOLA, New Orleans. Matt was mentioning Lila Crotty earlier, and her, along with Austin and a few other people, put on that great event. And Mac, well, he wrote a whole little novel for us here. And he really likes the Albany biannual tournaments, and for several reasons, including that he performs really well in them, that he likes hanging out with his friends, and he really seems to like Ted's fish fry. So lots of different reasons why to like that tournament. What about you, Matt? What's your favorite tournament?
I mean, the Scrabble Players Championship is a pretty freaking awesome tournament. You get 300 or 400 people in a room playing for huge money. That's the no-brainer answer. But both Joey's and Mac's answers are also, I would consider, full credit answers. The New Orleans tournament every January, as you said, by Lila Crotty, Lindsay Shin, Austin Shin, Kate Fukawa Connolly, is a fantastic tournament. If you haven't been yet, you've got to go. And then Annette Tedesco's legacy in the July 4th and New Year's Albany, New York tournaments are classic Scrabble tournaments. Live streaming on those as well, as Josh Greenway and Kieran O'Connor have taken over since we lost Annette. But those are both fantastic tournaments. And here are two fantastic tournament players underway: Joey Krafchick and Mack Meller. I expect we'll see a rematch of this one later on for higher stakes in the tournament, but a big game for both these guys here. Joey to play first, A, C, D, G, I, O, and an E on his rack. Yikes. Cog or something a little longer here, Jared? What do you think?
Or like a go, maybe? Keeping dice. You really want to be looking at leaving a really nice four-tile leave, I think. Two constants, two vowels. That's what I'd be looking to do. So trying to keep either dice or aced. Is that how you typically play these positions?
If I know the six-letter geodic and I'm confident on it, geodic I think stands out to me. I try to avoid playing long when I'm on the fence on the first turn, especially with a rack like this where I don't have any duplicates. Every unique tile I put down gives additional floaters to my opponents. But I do think that geodic, the top play here, Agio, is an interesting decision for Joey. Just 10 holding CDE. That feels weird.
Yeah, I think I would keep the eye there. Also, a go doesn't take a back hook. Maybe Joey wants a bit more open of a board, but I wouldn't think that going against Mac. I hadn't seen Geodic. It does a lot of nice things, including not putting a vowel next to one of those multiplier squares. So I think the engine for sure would like Geodic, and I definitely agree with that. I think personally, I just tend to play those positions a bit tighter.
Yeah, but like Jared said last game, you have so much ability on the first turn to learn about a player's style, what they do and don't want to do on a board. I think Joey opting to avoid vowels in this instance, kind of his big MO. And he has done well as he's pulled into curried after his initial play. So CDE didn't feel like a great lead, but Joey finding a bingo with it anyway. And Joey narrowly dodging a bullet. Mac nearly has add joints as a double for 110 here, but the F instead of a D or a T that he would need. Mac's not going to have good options available this turn. JIN and JO is winning a simulation on my computer right now. That is a sad play, but there's not much else to do. AJI in the same spot is 21. JIAO playing to the O in Agio is 22. Or if Mac wants to make things interesting, just take the double now, burn the blank, add joins is 52. Do you score 52 here? Do you play Jin, or do you have a different plan of approach, Jared?
I would play Jin. A joins is tempting, but it's not quite enough to burn that blank for me. FAS blank will score a lot, and he's setting up an S to hook Jin. So I think he's definitely made the right decision here. What you really would want would be a J play that hooks Agio to be able to score about 40, but he didn't have one there. So I definitely like the decision here. And I think Joey's going to play pretty quickly here because the only decision really is where is he going to play it. But I guess forming AI or A. Sorry, I'm getting a bit confused here. He can only play it to the left or the right of Agio, I guess.
No, he's also got an 8 through the N in Jin, and he's missed it. Joey drawing into curried, he was thinking this decision was going to be curried on one side versus the other like you, but incurred plays through the N for 74. Joey's rushed this turn and left points on the table. This is a mistake.
Yeah, and surprising because he had told you he'd been playing slower, and having watched the games you've called his on stream, I actually agreed with you. He had been playing slower, and I also hadn't seen incurred yet, but you definitely have to make sure you're not missing a bingo there because it's just so much better. It scores a lot more, and there's no reason to play courtier if you've seen incurred.
Okay, so he's played courtier, not curried, and that's going to help him dodge a big bullet. Curried with the front S hook would have been one more point, but would have seeded a massive bingo to Mack. He'd be sitting on feetist for 100 had Joey taken the more offensive play. Still a mistake from Joey, but if you're going to make a mistake, at least make the second best play and not the third best play. Joey, I think, opting to do that here with courtier. And Mack now AEEFST blank will bingo, but not for 100 at least for Joey. Highest scoring option for Mack is 89 points, and it doesn't backhook Jen or use the J in any way. It's a sick 4-tile overlap to the right side of courtier. That play Mack set up on his rack is a Freets, AFREETS, 89. Any reason not to play a Freets? The other bingos hooking Jen are 83 instead, Jared.
No, that's the one I had seen. That's the one I'd want to be playing. I know Mack finds plays instantly. He's probably the best play finder in the field. He says he hasn't studied in about 10 years, and I totally believe him, and yet he finds plays instantly. So first, he's going to also be looking for double doubles through that D. If he doesn't find it, which there isn't one, he's going to set up a Freets, which he just has. My guess is he found a Freets already a minute ago. He's just been looking for something better. So don't think just because it took him a bit of time to put it on his rack here that he just found it. My guess is he had seen this quite a while ago.
I would guess he's looking for 9s through AR as well, extending out to that triple word. Just wants to make sure, on a great rack that he does get every single point he can. We've got the engine up. We know there's no double. We know there's no 9 through the AR. We know a Freets is the highest scoring option. And after a little over 2 minutes of deliberation, Mack, coming to the same conclusion, drops down a Freets, 89 points, and he now leads 109 to 74 after Joey bungled his previous turn. He's got EGK LOSX now. What stands out to you here, Jared?
Well, I see Gox, and he's going to play it. There was also a spot between JO and S to play the G there, but this obviously triples the X. So Joey is playing quick again. This time I think he made the right decision, but you have Quackle open. Was there something maybe that both Joey and I overlooked?
I think Joey rushed this play again. Gox right there feels fine, and in a vacuum, Gox is better than KEX in the same spot. But you don't play Scrabble in vacuums. You play them in real life, and in real life, Joey has an S on his rack. Playing Kex and setting up a pivotal front S hook to make ski would have set Joey up to be in good position. Was Gox a mistake? I don't know if I'd go that far. Was Gox a rushed decision that Joey should have thought about more? 100%. Joey told us he'd slowed down. I'm not seeing that so far.
No, he really hasn't slowed down in this game, and that's a bit disappointing because the slower pace really seems to have been working out for him. And I agree with you. Now, having heard your comment that Kex is setting up his S, which he had, I would have much rather seen that. I don't think it's a big mistake. I think maybe we would call it a slight inaccuracy, but at this top level, it's the slight inaccuracies that can really change. And really, in any game, you want to be making an optimal play every single time. And speaking of making optimal plays, Mack is going to have a tough turn here to find the best bingo. He set up Youthins through that U of courtier, which will double the Y and double the whole play. So from a first glance, that looks like a really nice find.
Yeah, Youthins is the highest scoring bingo here for Mack, 84 points. His next highest score is just 73 on a bingo. That one would be Hyoscene, Hyoscine through the C in courtier. Matt can also think about not bingoing here, just HOYS, making DAY and IFS is 40 points and holds EN blank, but 84 for the bingo, 40 to pass it up. That's a 44-point delta. I know EN blank is a great leave. It's not worth 44. Youthens is the play here for Mac.
Right. If it was 34, we could be talking, but at 44, I think you really have to take the points here. And these are the sort of turns. This rack, it's not so easy to find Hyoscene and to find Youthens right away. Mac is just such a great play finder that he sees it right away. And if Mac is drawing blanks, he's going to be nearly impossible to beat. So Joey has his work cut out for him here.
Yeah, a blank bingo and then another blank bingo, back-to-back blanks for Mac. But we just saw Seth Lipkin overcome a double blanking and win a game. If Joey wants to hold pace, he's now going to have to overcome a double blanking as well. Youthens puts Mac ahead 193 to 106. EKLPSTU, the rack for Joey. He will not have a bingo. He will not have a big score, but he'll have some intermediate options that aren't bad. HUP from the H in Youthens is 28. KEEP through the E in Youthens is 30. Puke opens up the left side of this board if Joey plays PUKE and YE beneath Youthens. This is definitely a turn where Joey needs to slow down, figure out his approach. How do I stay alive when I'm facing a deficit against a player as strong as Mac? Also looks like Mac might be on hold. No, his tiles are just face down and he's casually sipping water. Joey knows that word. All right. Jared, what do you see here?
Puke gives back a lot of just easy responses that Mac could use to sort of close the board, but LTS could definitely work out well if he draws some vowels, and that E in Youthens or the U in Puke would certainly help. Looks like Joey's going to play quick again. And he's going to play Lucan, which, is a reasonable play. I don't think it's one I'd necessarily make, but I don't like how quickly he played it.
I don't. I'll stop. I'll just stop. Lucan is the play that Joey makes, just 20 points, trying to get out to the left side of this board. PST, the leave. That's Joey's play. AAEINOT, the rack for Mac. And I love when good players draw racks like this. These are the racks that bad players mess up and give games away because of. Mac is not going to do that here. Lower rated players who are a little bit greener with this game, players without the experience, are looking to drop AO out of this rack. And I don't think you can do that in this situation. The way you lose a game when you're ahead is you fish and you miss your fish, and then you're not winning anymore. Mac is not going to fish AO here. He's going to score some more points, play a little bit longer, even though there aren't blanks to go digging for. Mac is smarter than this. Everybody can learn a lesson from an incredible player here.
That said, Koa is a play that we could see come down from the K there. It scores pretty well for a 2-tile fish. It is the summer. That is the season people like to go fishing. So I agree with you. It's not really stylistically maybe the approach to be done here. Another play I see is Joist through the JO and then the disconnected S. It scores decently. It's not something you want to do because it's burning one of your constants and you only have 2 of them. But if you're going to play longer here, what is the best play you're seeing right now, Matt?
It's what Mac has set up on his rack. NAOI underneath Youthens does some really nice things to the board, obstructs the best floaters for Joey, and just in general makes life difficult. Now, I'm going to confess, I did not see Koa played for 16. And I said, you don't play OA, you don't play OA. Hang on, now 16 points, maybe you do. But I still really like the idea of NAOI. This goes from a clear play long to actually this is going to be really fun for even me to learn from in this situation. But I think Mac is still going to play long here.
Because Koa does leave AEINT, which goes nicely with the L in Lucan, the S of Youthens. So there's definitely some reasons to make a play like that. But taking out the 3 best floaters, knowing that 8s are more likely to hit than 7s, I believe that's true. I hope I'm not lying to the audience here. That makes a lot of sense.
All right.
I think,
So I was right. Mac's not just going to play OA and go fishing. Everybody learn a lesson from this. Stop fishing when you're ahead by 70. If you care about winning games, you're welcome. All right. I'll step off the soapbox. Back to Joey. FIPPSTT gives him a challenging situation. He doesn't want to see this board get any more walled off than it already is. He needs to try to keep opportunities alive. It's not quite time for Joey to throw in the towel. There's still stuff that can happen. Big turn here, but I'm not seeing options, at least immediately, that look good to help Joey get back into this game. Quackle immediately suggesting just DAFT, extending the DA in Courtier for 16 points, holding IPPST. I don't hate it, but I hate that there's nothing else productive that Joey can really do here. Anything jump out to you, Jared?
well, in considering Quackle's analysis, one thing I would want to say is that it's not considering how often Mac is going to be taking out the E and the L of Lucon. Quackle is not programmed that way, to think that way. So he's got to really find ways to keep things open. And Tippett, actually, blowing up the rack, which wasn't a good rack, makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, Tippett's just 11 points, but you have to play through this rack as fast as possible. You can't, you need to get back in bingo range quickly if you're Joey, though just 11 points is a tough pill to swallow. One other option maybe was TYPP at the top of this board through the Y, just 11 points as well, but that sets up the back hook for Joey that's going to be tough for Mac to obstruct. Maybe something to think about there, but Tippett is a play that makes some sense in a game that's getting more and more desperate from Joey's POV with every passing turn. Back to Mac, leads 214 to 137, AADEEIT on Mac's rack. And once again, he's not just going to play off AE as fast as he can and try to bingo next turn. That's not how you win games. Mac playing a little bit longer, scoring a little bit more, AIDE is exactly how you play through these racks. Keep scoring and your opponent can't catch up. Good stuff from Mack Meller.
Yeah, he scored well and he kept well. ATE, a very strong leave. And he'll be very happy if Joey's scoring 11 and he's scoring a lot more in the top right. It's really looking good for Mac now. Joey, unfortunately, has duplicate ends. He also has an F. He could really use maybe one more vowel, but I really want to see him try and open up the right side of the board if possible. I guess he could play Fain, Fain, overlapping 3 times with E, F, T, A, and SI of Fritz. But even that doesn't open up too much.
I think Joey has one play that is fun, and it's a play that, maximizes your chances of winning the game, but also maximizes the chance of you losing this game by 210. And it is still early enough in the tournament that spread, you have no idea if it's going to matter or not. But the play of infra, INFRA, making SI, is really neat for Joey. It opens a lot of different possibilities. The triple triple is an immediate concern for Mac to block, but it's a good way for Joey to get to several different lines on the right side of this board at once. It's also very aggressive, and if you get tripled, it feels really bad, and you lose by 300 instead of 100. So infra, I think Joey's last chance to try to get into this game, but there's nothing wrong with FAIN. It's a strong equity play, and definitely the spread play as well here.
The problem with Fain, of course, is that it doesn't take a back S. You expect it to maybe, but it doesn't. It compares. You could put a word like FAINER or EST, or actually, I might be making those up. Let me just check to make sure I'm not lying to you. Okay, you can. But it takes a back T, of course, for faint. So this play would have been a lot better if it took the back S. Unfortunately for Joey, it doesn't, and both players are going to know this one.
I almost said on Joey's last turn, I would consider NAIF in this situation instead because of exactly that. And then Joey immediately draws Resigns, which would play with Naif but doesn't play with Fain. I think taking 3 extra points is still correct there, and you just hope you hit a T bingo at some point. But I don't know. Joey's had a tough turn, and this is still a tough game for him. But I think he'll bingo next turn. Back to Mac, AELMRTV. Another one of these. A lot of players see this rack. They see the I in Tippett, and they play Vim for 16, holding Alter. In a vacuum, another good play. In this situation, another not good play. And we're going to see Mack do something different once again in this situation. You see him sitting on travel, which plays alongside feign, 3 overlaps, strings an L in a triple triple line. But from an equity perspective, a solid play. That would be a gutsy move from Mack. He leads by 80. He'd be up 110 after the play. You open the triple triple here with both blanks gone already?
I would never. I think that would be really restless. I can't imagine ever doing that, and I really hope Mac doesn't. I would maybe play something like Vera to the right of Tippett to really, the V out in space there doesn't allow anything else to come down. Or if I could make a play longer in that same spot to not only take out the lane to the right of Tippett, but also the lane beneath the Y of U-Thins.
Oh yeah, yes. I'm playing a 5 tile play down to the right side of Tippett. Yeah, you want to take away the possibility for bingos ending in an E to play beneath U-Thins. A lot of that makes sense too. Yeah, the super defensive option is just VET to the left side of Tippett, making et, which only takes the back A and H, and that's really going to restrict access to the left side of the board. But Mac would feel very sad if he makes a super defensive play of just vet, and then Joey bingos for 80 beneath U-Thins, and it's suddenly a close game. Mac wants to score a little bit better here. This is a really interesting turn. I think Mac wants to play travel really bad, but he's going to feel like it's a legendary bad beat if Joey triple triples on him after that.
Sorry, when I said Vera, I didn't notice I was forming IR. What I would actually play here, I think, is Varlet, Varlet.
There it is,
That's
yeah.
an anagram of travel. It takes out the right side of Tippett and the bingos that are going to fit beneath the Y of U-Thins. So I think that does a lot of really good things for the board.
Yeah, Varlet would be a really cool idea here. It scores so little as well, just 14, but really starts to obstruct opportunity. I got a small bone to pick with Varlet. I don't like that it sets up the IT spot for big Z plays. I'd like to avoid giving Joey possibilities at 70-point non-bingos as well, but something like that, like a Trave or something, or Marvel on the other side, maybe a play like that makes a lot of sense to do. Or Trave and YE makes a little bit of sense. I don't. There's some stuff for Mac to do here. He's wisely taking a lot of time with no standout option. Shape the board the way you want, or at least assess the risk and reward of each of these plays. It's a challenging turn.
Yeah, you're right. Varlet could give up a play like AZO, which would score, almost 70. Uh, but leaving that spot open, you could score over 60 with Suk, SUQ. So there's a lot of different things you want to be thinking about. And this is why we were a bit hard on Joey earlier in this game for playing a bit quick, because there's just so many different things to consider. So I've enjoyed the way Mac has used his time here. On the sort of obvious turns, he's played a bit faster, but on these other turns, he's really been methodical.
Both of these players demonstrate the skill set that this young generation brings. Both of these players have been playing since they were 10, 11 years old, playing tournaments since they were 10 or 11 years old. And what I seem to notice is the players who start playing when they're kids, when they're in middle school or early high school, they just spot plays so fast. Joey and Mac, both players who see nearly every option almost immediately, they get to spend their entire game just kind of figuring out which option is best and comparing them. They don't have to spend their time looking for plays. They get to spend all 25 minutes on strategy.
Oh, so look at this. He plays on the left side of the board, taking out that Z spot that you were afraid of. This makes a lot of
I
sense.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I think probably where you suggested it originally, and I just derped on it too. But yeah, I love this. Again, you don't play Vim and keep Alter. That is how you blow this game. Great job from Mac, taking the extra time. Don't play Travel, give up the triple triple. Don't play Vim and start fishing. Make a play like this. Great stuff. Block the board, score some points, turn over some tiles. Great stuff.
In hindsight, it's so obvious to play it on the left, but you look to the right first because I don't know, it just feels more natural that way. But this is why you really have to take a bit longer to think it through. He would have liked to keep the T if possible for the feint hook, but blocking is just more important here. So this is just a perfect play, and he drew pretty well after it. So he's in a commanding position. And Joey is in that unfortunate position where he has a no-go, a homeless bingo. There's a lot of different words for it, but regardless, he's going to play Sig here and leave ER and S. I'm not really sure what else he could have done. I didn't actually take a chance to look. Had you scanned the board yet?
He had no standout options. He had no bingos. And in this instance, you want to stay in bingo range, score well, and open new quadrants. Sig does everything Joey needs to do on this turn. But, he's faces such an uphill battle getting back to this one. A culmination of some great pulls from Mack and some unprecise play from Joey on the early turns. At this point, there's not much left to be done in this game. But Joey doing everything he can to try to stay alive. Sig's the right idea there. Ademorv, the rack for Mack. An O would give him Varoomed, but without that, no playable bingos, and Mack has quickly spotted his highest scoring option. At this point, Mack, with such a lead, you can play moved. I don't care if you bingo with SIMS. It's not going to score almost anything. I'm ahead by so much. Fine. Take your tiny bingo. I win the game now.
Yeah, like he's totally fine allowing a 60-point bingo, whereas a bingo from the G could easily score 74, maybe up towards 80 if another big tile's played. Makes a lot of sense. Joey would be a bit frustrated playing Sig because you want words to end in G. You don't really see as many starting in G, but from his previous rack, it's sort of all he could really do. He's playing quickly again before we've had a chance to look. He has been looking, of course, while Mack has been thinking. He's going to play Ausen, just taking some points here. This feels like I'm going to take some spread and just give up on this gameplay.
I mean, at this point, Joey has to get really, really lucky to win. He needs to play Ausen and score a ton of points and draw a bingo that plays probably in the top left quadrant. Just hope you draw a miracle that ends in like an A or an O, and maybe you hit like Relievo and win this game. Who knows? But it's slim, but if you don't keep scoring, there's no way you win this game. So Joey's got to do something like this. I like it.
What about endows in the bottom right to put the S there to maybe set up a bingo that could score a lot more?
Ooh, I like that too.
And again, like I'm going to stop harping on the same point, but you just want to take some time because there are a lot of different considerations. If you want to learn more about Scrabble, one thing you can do is follow Mack on YouTube. He's the Happy Wanderer, if I'm not mistaken, and he puts out content almost every day. Mack and I actually both played in a crossword tournament in Connecticut earlier this year. And as we were walking around this event, he was constantly being stalked by people telling him how much they loved his content. These weren't Scrabble players, these were crossword players. But just because of how big his content has gotten, he was getting recognized. So that was really nice to see. As Cat comes down first, and then Z, a really big response. But it does hold UU.
Yeah, Z is likely going to be a little bit too little and a little bit too late for Joey, though it does make the spread nice and respectable in this one. 278 to 325 now. A miracle for Joey, and he's still alive, but the miracle won't come this turn with UU. Oh, God, especially not with that. Miracle's going to have to wait at least one more turn if you're Joey. But yeah, to your point, Mack on YouTube, he puts out videos nearly every day. And if you like Scrabble, whether you're a huge nerd and a high-level player or kind of a novice, just kind of seeing what this game has to offer, Mack is one of the most brilliant Scrabble minds out there. And I was talking to a friend who's come over from poker to Scrabble in the last couple of years. Shout out to you, Greg. He's playing in this tournament. But Greg said, I cannot believe that top-level players like Mack put this stuff on the internet for free. They're giving away their strategy and their tips and their pointers. And that's to Mack's point. He doesn't want to take the knowledge and hoard it. He wants to grow the game. He wants other people to see the beauty and the strategies and the layers to competitive Scrabble. He's more than happy to give away his skills for next to free. Nobody makes money off YouTube in competitive Scrabble. And just such an asset for the game. Check that out, Mack Meller on YouTube, if you haven't yet.
It certainly doesn't help either of our competitive play to show people how weak our word knowledge is at times, to show some of the gaffes that we make, words that we think take an S that don't, or plays that we wouldn't have found. But That's what the community is all about. We're just real people enjoying the game. There's not that much money on the line. So I love that people put this content for free. As Mac here debates between cheery and cherry, I think hanging on to that last E is really important. And if you're Joey, knowing that there's no E's left in the pool when you have to find a bingo to win this game is just a devastating feeling.
Yeah, Mac, looking at his options here, cherry or cheery, putting the Y in the triple line. You're not worried about getting tripled in the 7th spot, but with 2 unseen L's, it feels like an LY or ILY bingo is in the cards. Maybe not this turn, but next turn, a decent amount of the time. Mac's got to make sure he can still survive those. What is out there that Joey could have? Tawdrilly or something like that? How much would that score? What tiles would I end up drawing if Joey does have a perfect rack? Probably drawing UUOO. Oh, that's not good, but it's such a big lead. I probably win the game, and that's only the worst case nightmare scenario. Cherry likely leads to victory almost every course, even when Joey has the worst case scenario.
Yeah, and Joey's gonna want to like threaten something on the top left if possible. Now that that Y spot will stay open, unfortunately, he wants to threaten something while also playing through his uglier tiles. He's got 2 U's, a B, and a W, and an O. Like these are not good bingo tiles. And from his perspective of unseen, the pool is very appealing. So he knows that Mac is sitting on a nice rack while he's sitting on an ugly rack, and he's behind about 100.
And Mac reaching in and finding a lot of the good tiles, he has to feel a lot more secure about his chances to victory, knowing, oh, UUWB unseen to me is likely my victory here. It was been a good game, and one that, while it didn't feel very close, I feel like is so important for people to watch and digest. The way Mac played this game, the way Mac defended his lead, the way Mac avoided several traps that so many people would fall into. This was a great instructional game, if not one that was super close in suspense.
I love this comment in the chat from Eddie N saying, everyone watching who's never played competitively, realize you don't have to be an expert. Find a club and just jump right in. There's a lot of people playing in this event. This is the top of Division 1. There are 3 other divisions in the NWL field. Let's take a moment, look at some of the standings there. Mike Johnson is in first place in Division 2. Love to see it. Mike runs so many events. Another one of these people who does so much for the community. And in Division 3, we have 7 people tied at the top at 9 and 3. How about that?
Is my boy Greg Smith up there with one of them?
Hang on one second as I check. No. Wait, Division 3, sorry. No, I don't think so. But some people like Judy Horn, who runs tournaments, Cameron Siegel, who I saw NASPA just posted as only a teenager, my friend Chess Bunzo, Brian Garnett. There's a lot of good people. And in first place is David Schumann at the moment. So love to see it. Division 4, we have 2 people at 10 and 2, Diane Pietrzak and Catherine Ryback. So maybe we'll see some of those players start jumping up into the higher divisions as they go forward. Or maybe they'll stick around the lower divisions and just go to these events to see friends, to play the game they love. You don't have to study words. You don't have to figure out if Lucon takes a back S or know a word like tippet or euthans, but you can still have a lot of fun with this game.
Yeah, we show the very, very top level players for the most part, especially at the majors like this. But this is a small snippet of what competitive Scrabble is, and everybody starts at the bottom. You can climb as high as you want, or you can use it as a weekend getaway and a chance to, crane your brain. You do not have to take it seriously, and you are not going to get mown down by Mack Meller and Joey Krafchick at your first tournament, if we can all avoid it. There are also lower stakes atmospheres where you can get into the game. Most major cities have a club, whether it's a formal or informal club. And if you just get on Facebook, join any Scrabble group, say the city you're in, and just say, is anybody playing near me or is there a club near me? I guarantee you some connections can be made. You don't have to be stellar to get a ton of enjoyment out of this game, a ton of satisfaction out of this game, and to meet some awesome people in this really niche sub-community. Scrabble's for everybody. You don't have to look like this. That's a great comment and a great point, and I'm glad you brought that up, Jared.
Yeah, and there is a game going on. it's only over because Joey has such terrible tiles, but Mac just wants to make sure he's not missing something, that Joey doesn't have some surprise out that'll hurt him. And now Mac wants to maximize his spread. What sort of pathway would you be looking at here? Does he have a play that hits the Y, that goes through the Y?
I feel like Mac thinks that Joey won't block the Y and he can actually get greedy and fish for stuff here. That might be what he's thinking about. I can't tell you for certain. It looks like he's just gonna plink.
So there's 2 tiles in the bag. He wants to play 1. So if there's some bingo he's not seeing that he won't lose, I think that's the strategy there.
I think he's fishing here. Limina, drawing an O would give him Monilia. Trying to see, drawing a T would give Intimol, which I don't think plays on the board. But also, yeah, just don't empty the bag in case the worst possible thing happens. Just a little bit of that going on as well. Ran it through the engine. Quackle likes display more than any other option. So maybe
Not
there was
surprised.
a bingo Joey had. We'll hear in the postmortem for sure. I'm sure they're talking about it right now already.
Well, Manilia does play in 2 spots. Like, I was only looking at the spot with Youthens, but also SIM takes it back A. So definitely not surprised that Mac is thinking it through and making these great plays.
Oh my God, he drew into Mini Lab and he's going to, wow, yeah, okay. Wow, yeah, so Mac fishing and hitting his fish on the last turn. It looked like a block. It was a fish. Mac's going to bingo out with Mini Lab, Sema, and Knob unless Joey does something to obstruct. Wow.
It's amazing that he could find a fish that would hit with 2 different tiles, that they would both hit in 2 different spots. That is some amazing play by Mac. Like, out of every play you see today, that is probably going to be the best one.
Mac is such a freak in these pre-endgame positions. I had a game in Niagara Falls where Mac walked over afterwards, and I was trying to figure out which play was right. Mac takes about 1 second, looks at the board, and says, it's 3 and 36 to win after this play. And I was like, hang on, can you stop? Like, what? There were 3 tiles in the bag, and he just looked at it and figured it out, like, instantly. I still don't know how he did it. He tried to explain and take his time, and I'm like, Mac, I'm not comprehending. He is on an entirely different level, and because of that, he's going to go out with a bingo. You watch Joey flinch, look at his tracking. Are you serious? Oh, no. And Joey realizing this is an out bingo, one that he didn't think of or maybe didn't have the right stuff to block. I don't know. But Mac going to bingo out, get even extra spread on what was an absolute clinic of a game. Let's cut to overhead mic and catch the postmortem.
It is.
It is? Oh,
I mean, it wasn't necessarily the best play, but I left CED.
it's probably a little better. Yeah, I wouldn't have been sure, but I don't think I would have challenged. But Gene kept FAS blank.
FAS blank?
Yeah.
Seems pretty good.
So, bingo. I don't think I missed a double-double with the freights. Nah. What with Youthens?
Geodic, and I just went through all the 6s, and
I wouldn't have been sure.
I might not have gotten into it.
Yeah, I saw Hyacine, but this is better.
What's up?
Hyacine when I played Youthens.
Oh,
But, man, this is clearly better. I was looking for 9s a little bit.
clearly, yeah. You didn't have to tell me that.
But there's nothing.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I don't know about Varlet, but I mean, actually, no, you know what? I'm lying. I kept an M. Actually,
stick to the story.
yeah, I kept an M. I remember that. It was a weird play. Should play travel here, keeping the M, but I don't know.
That is crazy. This played in 2 slots. And I have
Well, that's why I did this.
one.
I mean, I drew the B. There were 2 Bs left. I mean,
That was pretty likely.
just that kind of day.
So I haven't lost back-to-back games all tournament. Need to win my next round. But
Yeah.
I'm either playing Chloe or Jason Lee or
I'm probably
No,
playing
Burger.
Chloe because I've already played the other ones.
one of us will play her probably. Nope, wrong way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played Noah Burger either.
Yeah, I just played them before this. Okay, so I got the thing in.
Need to win to end the day, 10-4.
Yeah.
Stay. I mean, obviously, if you run away with it, it's fine. Then we're playing for second.
I'm far from running away with it.
Well, So pretty likely. Like your odds to make the finals now are like it's a minus number.
You think?
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, hope
There's
you're
not
right.
enough good players to compete with you. It's probably minus 120 that you make the finals now. Something like that.
We'll see. Let's see.
I haven't submitted it on the phone yet, but do I have to look at it earlier?
Oh, I think you just check on your side and then hit submit. That's what I've been doing.
Okay, yeah, I don't have the QR code.
Oh, okay. If you would.
Wait, what do you mean on my side?
Oh, no. Technically, you have to hit submit it on your phone, I think.
Right, but I don't have the,
okay.
the link.
I mean, I'm sure it'll go through eventually.
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, that's fine. Do you want me to talk? Yeah, okay.
Getting from production team that we're going to try to get Mack Meller on the headset. I see that thumbs up means we are going to get a little mini interview with Mack Meller after this one, just to get everybody to know him a little bit better. Again, if you like Mack, the way he played, the great decision making, and you want to see him explain and unpack all of this in real time, I cannot emphasize that he's got an awesome YouTube channel, just a wealth of information, and he's so generous to give it all to us. Mack's going to be on the headset in just a moment. Round 14 coming your way after this. That's going to be the last game for today. Staying in the NWL division for that. And we're going to bring Chloe Fatsis and Noah Berger in round 14. That's going to be a good one as well. Waiting for word from our production team that Mack is ready. If you have questions in chat, go ahead and throw them now. I'll try to toss them Mack's way in the middle of this interview. But let's cut over and get to it. We've got Mack Meller coming off an awesome performance there. That was a wonderful game for us to watch. Mack, this is Matt Canik on the headset. Give us your initial takeaway from that game. Well, thanks for the delay, everybody. Mack, for the second time, but the first time you can hear me. That was really awesome. Just a well played game on your end between two awesome players. Can you give us your initial thoughts on that game?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Matt. I mean, obviously, I was very fortunate to get both blanks early on in the game with back-to-back bingos. I've been doing that a lot this tournament, which is certainly part of why I've been performing as well as I have. That always helps, especially against a player as strong as Joey. Always good to get out to an early lead, which helps you take control of the game and start controlling the board. I think my most interesting play of the game, which I spent a while on, you guys were probably talking about for a while, was Varlet, which kind of goes back to my last point of trying to control the board. I sacrificed a lot of points there. I could have played Travel next to Joey's last play of Feign. I wasn't too keen on dangling that L in the triple line up 100 and wanted to start trying to exhaust the left-hand side of the board, which Varlet did very effectively. It made it really tough for Joey to bingo there, and I just felt like my position up 100 on that board was very strong, and it seems like it paid off well. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I drew well, but I'm also happy with how I played.
Yeah, this is a game that just had trap written all over it. You take the early lead, but you had a number of racks in the mid game where I just said, this is where a lower rated player messes up the game. This is where a lower rated player messes up the game. And you played every one of those just so tactfully, so instructionally, and just a beautiful game and a great way to navigate. We loved the play of Varlet here in the booth too. He wisely took a ton of time there. And did Joey tell you what his rack was when you played that?
He did not, but was that when he had resigns, or was that a different turn?
Yeah, that's when he had resigned. So just a very frustration-inducing play. He had a great rack and
Would
just
something
nothing.
have played if I didn't play Varlet? Then
I don't
remember.
No, actually, I don't think so.
Because everything ends in a constant and an S there, right? So I don't think it would have played.
Right, but just a very frustration-inducing play, like and just such a good idea in general was Varlet. We really liked it here. We liked Noah. We liked AIDE. Just a number of great plays from you in succession. And the one that I think Jared, who's on headset with me, liked the most was your penultimate play, just dropping the E for 15 points. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually didn't even see at first that I could hit mini lab with a B drop. My first thought was, do I have a bingo? I saw Nialamide through the DA, which didn't quite fit. I'm probably spending too much time looking for nines, but that's just my nature. And I mean, first I saw the unseen tiles were obviously quite clunky with two Bs and two Us, but with an L and the LY, I wasn't 100% confident that Joey couldn't maybe hit something to the Y. So my first thought was, all right, let's play one over there. That way, if somehow he hits something above the other Y on the top left, which I was pretty sure, again, there wasn't anything, I should still be able to win. And I was at first going to drop the A because generally an E is better than an A to keep, right? But then I said, wait a minute, if I play off the E and I draw the B, I have mini lab on top. It's like, wait, it also plays on the right. So it's actually a 2 and 8 shot of hitting it in both spots. And spread is obviously very important in this tournament. My spread right now is, considering my record of 11 and 2 is not all that great. So definitely these extra 70 points are nice going forward. And certainly another stroke of good luck that it played off, but glad I came up with it.
Yeah, we're telling you, this is not a stroke of luck. This is all calculated. Like Mac figuring out, I might be able to bingo. I'm not going to play an A. I'm going to play an E. Like he thought through all of this, and he thought through all of this in 30 seconds or less. The dude is a machine, playing on fire so far. Mac with that victory, 11 and 2, retaining at least your share of first place. It's been the start you were looking for at a tournament that has been so challenging for you to have the result you're looking for. How does it feel to have this 11 and 2 start right now?
Yeah, definitely good. But, at the same time, I know there are still, we're not even halfway done, right? There's still a lot of Scrabble left. So trying to not get too overconfident or dwell on it too much. I honestly haven't really been looking at the standings all that much. I probably won't really until day 4 when decisions might start to matter a little more in terms of, playing conservatively and going for spread. But I'm just trying to focus game by game, even play by play, and play the best moves that I can. I feel like I'm in a very good headspace this tournament, probably more so than I have been in past nationals, which is definitely good. I feel like I'm playing well. I'm definitely drawing well, but it's tough to do well here. There's a lot of good players. It's a long tournament, so you need a lot of good plays and a lot of good luck. And I feel like I've been getting both so far, so I'm happy about that and hoping it keeps up. But we'll see.
Yeah, so once again, Mac has a profound YouTube or a prolific YouTube channel, big following there. He puts out content nearly every day. Just search for Mack Meller on YouTube. You can get plenty more of these bombs of knowledge that Mac loves to drop. Mac, congratulations on that one. Best of luck in your last game today, which we won't be showing here. And have a great evening. I'm sure we'll see more of you here on Board One. Thanks for your time.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt and Jared. I appreciate all you guys are doing too.
Mac. Keep at it.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you soon.